Hey, what's up, Uncle Mike?
Man, all this smoke from the Canadian fires. Hey, Nicky Nick, how's it going? Yeah, I'm sitting out here having a cigarette. I don't even know why I need a cigarette. There's so much smoke from them fires. How you guys doing with the fires?
Yeah, smoke's pretty bad here too, but it's clearing up. The smoke reminds me of like an old Harry Potter movie or something like that.
You too, huh? Yeah, I just wanted to tell you, so tonight's show...
You know what? I've been working on this, Uncle Mike. I want to give it a shot. Uranus Venoso.
Okay, so hey, how y'all doing? Mike Stefani, Mike's Monitors here with my partner.
What's going on, guys? Nicky Nick.
Nicky Nick Lillis, Unlimited Exotics. So, man, I mean, this is something nobody's ever going to see, but, man, we've been having a heck of a time tonight getting this one going. My computer is, I don't know, they're making fun of me. My computer is like 15 years old. What do I know, right?
Yeah.
So, with that being said, we're going to kind of blow through the intro here real quick. But news, what do you got, Nicky Nick?
Got a lot. We're going to, like you said, we'll blow through it quick. So our guests, we don't want our guests waiting. But we had CJ with his albinos. I'm not sure which, so I'm not going to speak on it. But he had 30 eggs in that clutch, which is crazy.
Only 30?
Yeah, only 30, which is massive. You want me to keep rattling them off, Uncle Mike? Or
yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
So we had Cody Allen with the Tristis, which is really cool. Cody's killing the game over there, doing some good stuff.
Real nice. Yep.
I'm going to butcher this name, and I apologize to this person. But we had Matteo Baleo with the Spinnies, which is freaking awesome.
Yeah, those were 4 really nice-looking eggs. I have high hope for those. But I got a question for you, Nicky Nick. And I don't know, I'm not whatever it is. So do you think that guy's in the United States?
Quebec. I looked him up.
Okay, he's in Quebec.
Yeah, he's a Canadian relative.
Right.
So really cool. I mean, that's crazy within a month that I had mine, which I had 4 total, or no.
Okay,
it was 5, but this is her 4th clutch.
Okay.
Only first fertile, but 4th clutch.
Right. Yeah. Okay. I was just wondering if maybe you had 6 and he had 4, or
she's definitely, like, I looked at his and the pictures that he posted. My female's a lot bigger and my male's a lot bigger. They're older animals, but I'm still dialing them in, which he probably started from the beginning with them and is a little more honed in than I was. But I'll get there. Next time. I think I figured it out.
Without a doubt, Nicky Nick, you're gonna hatch these 2 or 1, whatever you got, and then that's again
with them, and hopefully they'll be breeders in the future. Have some F2.
And it's like I always say, man, take all the people and personalities out of it. Of course, I love you, Nick, so I'm very proud and happy for you. But you got to understand what's more important is this is great for the species.
Yep, exactly. I mean, and it was.
Love you, Sarah.
So much time in. There's nothing better than having a success. It might not be what I wanted, but it's a success. So
absolutely.
I can't complain. I'm beyond happy.
Well, Nick, as well as what we always say is you always learn more from your failures than from your successes. So you're learning And once you get it all honed in and you dialed it in, you're just going to be snap, snap, snap. So good job. Good work for you and Mateo, right?
I think it's Mateo. It's spelled like Matthew, kind of, but I think it's Mateo. I'm guessing. Okay. And then I just saw this before in between when we were messing with stupid technology. Gary Davis has been getting some stuff going on over there, and I think it was some albinos and some hets.
Yeah, like pretty big clutch. I did see that too. Yeah, congratulations.
Oh, and he had black throats the other day too, so he's doing a lot of stuff.
Good. Yeah, congratulations.
And last but not least, for sure, Uncle Mike, is your last Mertens came out.
Oh, yeah, my last Mertens. I don't know. I'll have to look. But, geez, I think, Nick, what I told you the first one hatch had to be a month or more ago.
It's like a month and a half at this point, I'm guessing.
So, from the first pip, a month and a half back, and then all the other, 7 or 8 that I had pipped on their own time. And the last one pipped about a month and a half, you say, right? About a month and a half later, which is crazy. Diapause.
We said a month last episode, and last episode was 2 weeks ago. So it's got to be at least a month and a half.
Yeah. Well, there you go. And they're all out. They're all healthy and feeding and doing great.
That diapause is insane.
Yeah. One more thing I got to say. Man, big congratulations to you, Nicky Nick, on your whiteouts and your black masked coming eye that you just kicked out, and very, very cool. One more quick thing before we were coming on this. I was kind of browsing through Facebook while I was having a cigarette after dinner. Did you see that black one that Ben Siegel's got available?
I did.
Man, I tagged you in it right away. So did Balan. So
yeah, it's weighing on me, but I'm trying to be good and not take any more in. But we'll see.
Yeah, I know.
Might have to work with him.
I already know what you're up to, Nick. You don't even have to tell me. As soon as I saw that animal and who had it, I was like, I know this guy's going to get it.
Yep. Always swindling something. But
yeah.
Let's go ahead, Uncle Mike. You got it.
Yeah. So without further ado, let's bring on. Listen, Janice, don't get mad at me. You taught me how to say your name at Monitor Fest. However, I'm not a good learner, so I hope I don't butcher this too bad. We'll bring on Janice Horoschak from Fifth Element Reptiles.
What's going on, guys? So when it comes to husbandry, I can't think of anything more important than your feeders. So what you're putting through your animal, but not only that, what's going through the animal that's about to go through your animal. There's a lot of steps to it, and if you're not farming it yourself, it can be very hard to find someone you could trust. So let me take the guesswork out for you. Kleinsfeeders.com is the best that I've found. It's who I use. It's who Uncle Mike uses. It's someone I know personally. It's family owned. They've been doing this since 2008, guys. 18 years. They know what they're doing. They've fine-tuned and perfected it throughout their farms, and I have nothing to complain about. I've had nothing but positive experience with Brendan and his family. They are the best out there. And the best part is they're in the United States. Don't buy from these guys because they're getting them from China and all overseas. And by the time they get here, who knows what those feeders are packed with. So don't mess around. Go to kleinsfeeders.com and feed the best you can.
Thanks, Nick. So what we're talking about here is USARK. They fight for our rights to keep these animals that we love and we nurture. These legislatures come and hide these insane laws in bills that have nothing to do with animals. So everybody, if you can, go to USARK and join at any tier level you can afford. If you're at a show where USARK is there, you could donate your time. You could donate an animal or a product, but this is for real. We really need numbers to help fight this stuff. Phil Goss, Vanessa, and Jeremy, they got their hands full, and they do a great job. So if everybody out there, please go join USARK today. Thank you.
I'm ready to see her correct you on this name.
At least I have a unique first name. So it's okay. It's Horoschak.
Horoschak.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have got that either. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You know what messes me up with it, Janice? I'm from like the 60s and 70s, so...
Welcome back, Cotter.
Yeah, Horoschak.
My brothers got it bad when they were growing up.
I bet.
Oh, and then I also have somebody with me, too.
So
I don't know
awesome.
if you can see him. This is Lover Boy. That's okay, buddy. I know you were
Hey,
falling asleep.
you named the mole on your neck. Oh, it's a lizard.
He was sleeping.
He got me with that in the lobby, and it caught me so off guard. I had no idea he was there.
Oh, it's okay, buddy.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah,
awesome.
This is one of my Kordensis. Come on, sweetie boy. Come on. You are so sweet.
He's camera shy.
Hi, buddy.
Look at that beautiful, beautiful captive born Kordensis.
I think there might be.
Yeah, you're so good. It's okay. I know.
And let me just say something quick before we get really rolling here. So Janice is fairly new in the breeding world, in the hobby, and man, I've known you for I don't even know how long, maybe a year or two, and you're just killing it. You're really, you got a good touch with those tree monitors. So what all are you working with? Obviously, we see you're breeding the Cordos. What else you got?
I mean, honestly, I was telling Nick, this is it. I had actually planned to get these as pets. I got my female Lilu, and I got them from Joe S. Mm-hmm. Luckily, he actually turned around and actually sent me the animals because I've heard some things. But yeah, so I got her, and then a month later, he's like, "Well, I have a male," and then I got Corbin, and he's actually wild caught. He definitely is skittish, but we have good days. So, and yeah,
he's doing his job. So that's what that's what counts, like in my book. But
and Lilu's very bossy. He's very gentle with her. Yep. So I'm like just so thankful because I've seen some horror stories with even tree monitors being pretty aggressive with the females, and he's just very gentle. But like when he can smell her with, that she's ready. I mean, I'm actually gonna like keep them separated, but right now she's cycling and he is going crazy. Like he's like, I want out, because he knows.
Yeah.
And really I'm separating because I have a clutch of potentially 6 due mid-August, and then a clutch potentially mid-November.
Nice.
So,
like Uncle Mike said, you're killing it. But I just want to go back for 2 seconds.
Yeah.
You said you're not going to pair them even though she's cycling. And I know where you're going with this, and I think it's a really cool point, but I wanted you to kind of emphasize that a bit. Why didn't you pair them?
Well, honestly, the market's really slow, and I don't want to have like even more tree monitors. I want to make sure that I'm pretty much vetting people before I send them, making sure that they have enclosures together, because they're not, they can't just be stuck in an aquarium. And I saw somebody today with, it was like they had the animal had a respiratory infection, or they think, and it was like they were in an aquarium that was maybe 40 gallons with a cork round, and it was floating in water. And,
that's very, very responsible of you, though. That is sometimes the hardest decision to make, is to pair or not pair. And honestly, when I was younger, up until probably this year, it was just pair. I couldn't stop myself from pairing, but like, it's a very respectful and very advanced thing to do, to know that she's cycling and to be able to control yourself from just producing babies. So I respect it a lot.
And I mean, if I let her, she'd be producing one clutch a quarter, because she, I was talking to Catherine Brown. She said she's in like her prime right now.
Yeah, that's what was my experience with the tree monitors. It was, you could easily get 4 clutches a year.
Mm-hmm.
You're doing everything right. That's what that says.
Yeah, but like I always worry, like she's gonna have the egg, she's not gonna absorb, and I feel like seems like it's hard on her too. My female. Yep. So it's just, I don't know. I worry about her. Like she was like supposed to be my pet. She wasn't supposed to be a moneymaker. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep. And
although I feel like I see top dollar for my animals, I feel like if you can't afford that, then I worry what you're going to be putting into your enclosure. You know what I mean? Because you're putting another about $3,000 like soup to nuts you know?
Yeah. Well, Janice, what we always say is, like, there's this thing in the hobby where, when times get tough like they are right now, without a doubt, there's what I call this race to the bottom as far as pricing goes. But when you do that, you're killing your own market, number one. And number two, by you going down, you're losing the quality of purchaser. Okay, so somebody who would never think to spend $2,900, $3,000 on a baby lizard, now if you make it affordable at $1,000, now you're the quality of the person buying your animal is. I don't want to say you understand what I'm saying. I don't want to say it like that, but it's the truth. So there's more people that could spend $1,000 and not worry about it than a few people who could spend $3,000 and really put the time into the enclosure, like you're saying. You know what I mean, and not just well, I only spent $1,000. I'll put them in a 10-gallon tank for now, and it's just wrong.
Right.
So pricing is very important.
Well, that, and I kind of I really want to make a video on, and I love the big monitors, but you think about black dragons are going for about half of what these guys are going for. But I was actually calculating it with a friend for the build, appropriate build, and the first month of food. Yeah, it surpassed $2,000 in the positive with a black dragon versus a tree monitor, even with them being half of the price, of a tree monitor.
100%.
And
great point. It's a really good point.
So,
and they grow at a rapid rate that people don't understand.
And then think about the food.
Yep.
It's just crazy. You're feeding some people are feeding full-size quail and and then it's the fact of making sure that you have quality food. I was talking to somebody that they did start feeding a tree monitor chicken, just basically pieces of chicken, which wasn't good, but he has since adjusted. But at least the animal knew, he said that basically she knew that if he was buying garbage chicken, she wouldn't eat it, which thankfully that animal knew.
Yeah, the animal's smarter than people. We still buy that from the grocery store and eat it.
I know.
Yep. And that's what people don't understand with the big monitor. You have quail and stuff like that, and your normal person pays $5 a quail. You're putting $15, $20, $25, $30 into an animal every time you feed.
Yeah.
So when you purchase an animal, you got to think that, can I afford $30 3 times a week?
Right.
It gets expensive for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what are you mainly feeding, Janice?
So mostly crickets, dubia, day-old thawed baby quail, and soft-boiled quail eggs.
Nice.
I mean, I don't like doing the whole chicken thing, chicken eggs. It's so fatty. And they're supposed to be lean and they're not supposed to be eating all of that stuff. So,
well, that's a great point you bring up as well. And we preach this a lot on Monitor Brains, is when you see a male and a female that are in good shape, in good reproductive shape, they're not fat, they're not overweight, they're lean, and by understanding the way these animals work, that really dictates to how you feed them and what you feed them. Because if you give them quality food, and their metabolism and their husbandry is right, that food goes through them. It's these people that put these big meals in these animals, and they don't quite have the high basking temperatures, and that all turns into their fat stores. And then you get a football-shaped monitor, or even worse, a big circular monitor. That's terrible, terrible. It's not. I mean, we talk about breeding all the time because that's what me and Nick do. But just general health, they should never look like that. That's just the bottom line.
And I've noticed that with water monitors, they might breed heavier than normal, but your tree monitors, your indicus, they're not going to breed if they're heavy. You could throw it out the window. They have no interest. They don't have the energy to do so. So
You know,
and then it's also a factor of, are they captive bred or wild caught? And most breeders are going to try to go seek out wild caught. Well, when a wild caught animal goes from scavenging what it can find, and then they're put in an enclosure that they're given food anytime they want, you know, they're going to have a tendency to overeat because they're like, well, when is this going to get taken away?
Yep.
Right.
So,
well, that's why it's important to feed like I use a lot of quail and quail eggs and fish, whole fish, and you know, insects, a lot of dubia roaches and crickets. Mm-hmm. But even on my big animals, I mean, I got like OJ, you know, he's massive. And to watch him run around and chase a dubia roach is like, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But they find a value in that piece of food. You know what I mean? Yep. And it's not something that sits in their belly. They digest it quick. They process it real well in their belly. And then they poop it out. And, you know, they get caloric out of it. But they're not getting enough to build fat, which is what you really got to watch for.
Yep. Yeah. Most monitors love bugs. I use dubia for a lot of things. And I have a huge colony for that reason. It's just it gives them something to do otherwise.
Mm-hmm. Well, and then I forgot to mention that I use superworms and dermestids for my my bioactive cleanup. Mm-hmm. I actually was, you know, suggested to do that, and they will kind of go and kind of gorge themselves sometimes, and I worry about it, but I'm like, okay. And then I just kind of let those cycle through, and then they kind of lean back down. And you know,
do you ever have an issue besides that with the superworms, like big booms or depletion? Because like I fed superworms like when I did chameleons, maybe I don't know, a couple years ago, and they must have bored my friend. I was like, dude, I haven't had superworms in my place in years. And he's like, what they're doing is they're boring into the wood, breeding, and like putting their eggs in there and then coming out. Yep. I cannot eradicate these without completely destroying my place. So I kind of just gave up. And it's not like it's everywhere, but I have those little black beetles every once in a while.
Yeah. And that's a point I want to bring up here while we're saying that. I don't know who suggested that to you, but you got to be very careful with domestic beetles and even superworm beetles because, like Nick said, they live in the wood. They live in your substrate. They come out at night. And like for me, it's not that big of a deal because I'm here 24/7. And when I have a female nesting, of course, I don't have that stuff in my soil. I have other cleanup crews. But the domestic beetles and the beetles from superworms will indeed eat your eggs. So that's something you got to watch for.
Yeah. So we are very dialed in, and I work 3 miles from my day job from my house. Wow. So I test Lilu, make sure that she's not eating, and then I know she hasn't laid. As soon as I know that it's like getting there, she's digging, like my partner will text me and be like, hey, I think she laid. Cool. I'll come home, and sure enough, like we are that dialed in, but of course we only have one pair. So that's why it's like we are the triple threat. Lilu is in her prime.
Yep.
Corbin is doing his job, and we are watching her for eggs and pulling them as soon as we can. And I think we actually found a clutch where we actually changed out her nest, and we didn't put some of the soil that was initially there. So I have like these big cork rounds that are about 3 foot long. Mm-hmm. She actually went in there, laid in the substrate at the bottom. That was because it was open, and there was one beetle eating, but I think that was the one that was actually not viable.
Okay.
So
they do, for some reason, they do tend to eat the non-viable ones first.
Yeah.
Those are the ones that they tend to gravitate towards. I don't know why, but
if like, for example, if obviously it sounds like you're getting them in plenty of time, but if, you know, those things wreak havoc, man. They really do. So when they do go through generally the non-fertile or the not good egg, they'll do that first. However, it don't take them long to do that, and they'll just work on the next one, you know. And they're not, you know, those beetles aren't, especially domestic beetles, they want to get through that eggshell and they want to get at what's in there, whether it's a viable egg or an infertile egg. So that's just, I just, domestic beetles. I mean, if you fell asleep with your hand in your cage and you had a lot of domestic beetles, they'd literally start eating on your hand.
I thought they only ate like dead stuff.
No, they'll eat any. If you deprive them of dead stuff, they'll go for the live stuff.
Oh.
Yeah, they're. I mean, that's nature's cleanup crew. I mean, you think about them in the wild. How you see, okay, the hyenas come and they tear all the meat off. The vultures come and they pick the bones clean. Then you got your domestic beetles and all your other little beetles that just they're there too. They're cleaning that carcass too. So
I had that happen to me with isopods. I forget what they're freaking called. There's something cow something.
Dairy cows.
Yeah, dairy cows. They're known for doing that too. You got to be careful with certain different isopods.
We also do feed
powders. Yeah,
we do actually feed the superworms daily. For that very reason, we were like worried that they would try to like go after them, like the adults.
Yep.
So we just make sure we feed the food in the enclosure. We'll just throw, because we do like it's one of the not squash. It's a squash. It's we do acorn squash sometimes. We do the I always want to say it's spaghetti squash, but it's not. It's the big
butternut squash.
There you go. There you go. And we'll throw zucchini in sometimes, but
not the zucchini. You can't do that to a zucchini. Send me the zucchinis.
With it, it's a fine line. It's like anything else we do. You got to be up on it. If you're up on it, it's one thing.
Yeah,
I know I wouldn't be up on it. That's why I can't do it.
Right. Well, so it's crazy because like the cleanup crew that I use in all of my enclosures, they're literally from here. They're from, up in the upper Midwest, Wisconsin, Illinois. And I wasn't sure how they would make it because, they're used to being wintered, and man, they're fine. They love it. And I got them everywhere. And like I said, I haven't, other than dirty water bowls, I haven't cleaned substrate like, I don't know, in 20 years. They just do a great job of eating up the poop,
Yeah.
I used orange powder isopods. Justin got me onto those. He breeds a lot of them, and they boom. There's never a depletion of them, and they clean up the poop like that. And I've never had a problem with eggs. They stay away from eggs, so that's just what I use. And they're pretty cool. Bright orange. You see them.
I might actually go in that direction because, like, I've heard stories where sometimes they can actually go crazy, like those can too.
Yeah, definitely.
And I don't.
They have levels. They'll boom, but then they even out.
Okay.
It's a matter of how many animals are in the enclosure, really.
Right. It's like a fish tank. You're building a bioactivity in your filter, right? And that bioactivity, when you first establish it, it booms. It booms, but then it slowly dies off, and it maintains an even keel at whatever your fish, feed it, whatever is available. Just like in your monitor enclosures, they never boom out because they can only live from the resources that your monitors give them, the little bit of poop that they get, or uneaten food, stuff like that. So.
What a life that is.
Yeah.
So I can live.
Yeah.
And so then you just use the orange
powders.
And then also springtails.
I just use strictly orange powders, but we have stuff natural. The same thing that Uncle Mike's saying, like when I get logs and stuff outside, whatever is natural here is
okay.
But, when you collect leaves, when you collect leaves in the fall, I guarantee you they're loaded with springtails of all different kinds. So mainly my bioactivity in my enclosures is basically made up of isopods that are native to my area, springtails that are native to my area, small millipedes, and small centipedes. And I'm sure there's more, but those are the ones that you could visibly see.
Right.
And it's just great. I mean, you pick up that dirt and put your face in it. Oh, it just smells like the woods after a rain. It's beautiful.
Yep.
Nice.
But I want to go back a little bit, Janice, to you were saying that you use the cork tube. Is that your nest box? Is that how you do nesting?
So that is just the climber. Like, so when I got Corbin, he came with a respiratory infection. And so we went through havoc because I was trying to find a good vet, which I'll, plug this. Please, people, make sure that you're finding a good vet that knows how to take care of your animals. Because I probably for like 3 months, no, it was longer than that. So from June to like January, we were fighting parasites. Clearly, I didn't know about wild caught, how delicate they can be, and that, kind of like us, when we get worn down, we get sick because of that and stressed out, and that's the same way. So, so basically, we were gutting the whole enclosure, steam cleaning, like high level peroxide cleaning, like 7%. Cleaning all that with gloves and goggles and stuff for months, and just the medication and yeah. So luckily we're now thriving, knock on wood. So we pretty much, all of the wood that's outside of the walls, which all, it's all, covered in bark. All of the cork in my enclosures are all temporary. I can pull it out at any time, wash it off.
Nice.
So that's those are their climbers. And I actually want to get more when I go back up to Maryland cork. Just to have more.
You're lucky. That's pretty close to you, I'm sure.
I know. It's just so nice. So yeah, it was just one of the cork rounds that they hide in. And it's funny because they all have their specific favorite hides when they go to sleep. And my female, I'll tuck her in, and she has a cork round that she loves, and I'll like, hey, here it is. And she'll climb right in, like, from my hands. It's just wild.
That's cool.
So yeah, and then so basically I had one of the bigger rounds, probably like maybe 9 inches to a foot in diameter. And then I did the the grass cover, not the grass cover, and I hot glued it in. Yep. She has laid in there twice, but I am actually doing the heat mat with 2 of the office trash cans. And I have that sandwiched in. I kind of got the idea from Brandon because I had the one and I just had it wrapped around the side. And he's like, well, why don't you sandwich it in there? And I'm like, oh, I didn't, it's like, you don't
arboreal think. Or is that ground nesting, the trash cans? Do you have them hanging?
No, it's just right on the ground.
Okay.
Or in the ground of the enclosure.
Okay. Yeah. I've never heard the trash cans. I've heard a lot of wild tree monitor nest boxes, but that's first.
The trash cans is when I first bred the Togies, Nick, I wasn't expecting them to breed when they did. So I was scrambling to find a nest box, and I wound up with 2 office waste paper basket type things.
Yep, that's exactly what I use.
And it didn't work so good for the Togies. So I scrapped that, and I had Steve Sandin. He whipped me up a few nest boxes, and that's where I got my good clutch in the nest box.
Made those, Steve. I didn't know.
Yeah, he made those. Yeah.
And then go ahead.
Oh, go on.
Oh no. So I have the trash can, but then I put 2 pieces of cork bark on the side to kind of have a ledge. And then I put the cork bark flats on top, and I have 2. So it almost fully covers. And then there's like a corner that she can crawl in easily from the side wall.
Gotcha.
And I mean, that's been her thing.
What are you setting attempts at your nest box?
Like 83. But I also still, every time that I know she's going to lay, I still do the surface temp checker and pull the soil away from where she would hit.
Yeah.
And then I put the probe on the outside of the trash can. So that's like the more, so it's not going to get too hot where it's going to burn the eggs.
Yep.
So
what I always do with mine is I drill a hole, and in the beginning, I just pushed the probe right in. So like if this was the waste paper basket, it was just like inside the hole a little bit, but they would actually push it out. So then I had it overheat sometimes or not get hot enough. So now I started siliconing it in there.
Oh,
so
nice.
It would always be right there. So then you're getting the accurate temp right inside the lay box.
Hey, Nick, just just for reference, how did that go?
I knew you were going to do it. I had nothing else in my hands to be able to show it.
Yeah, I know.
Any kids watching, don't look at that demonstration.
But it's the probe. It was the probe.
Yeah. So was what you were talking about, but we'll leave that aside.
Yeah.
But
so,
that's
Janice,
really cool. I've seen so many.
Sorry, these go off the wall like this, but that's how we have fun. So
no, it's fun. It's cool. I'm pretty low key, you know, and I've seen the other podcasts, so I kind of know, you know. And of course, I had brothers, so you know.
I was gonna say, you said you had 4 brothers, so you're used to all this.
Yeah, I was being told at 13 that my brothers were looking for a package deal, if you know what that is.
Yeah.
So
well, you know what's funny, Janice? I could have told you that you had brothers because you always have that uncomfortable laugh, but you never turn red.
I have to really say something like really inappropriate to turn red. So.
Yeah, kind of like what I said at Monitor Fest.
Yeah.
I'm always red, so you would never know if I had brothers or what. I was born red.
So that's what I wanted to. Okay, we could get into more about your breeding and stuff, but what did you think of Monitor Fest? That was your first time. What did you think?
I mean, I was overwhelmed. I have kind of become a little bit more introverted since COVID. So, and just, you know, peace of mind, just being at home and, you know, being away from people. It was great to meet everybody. I feel like towards the end, I was starting to burn out. But everybody was really nice. I mean, so I loved it. I love meeting all the new people that I had actually been following, you know, on social media or commenting to and putting the name with the faces. However, it's still like, I am so like, Nick, you might be, because you're like, have a little bit of an art background. I am horrible with names, but I will remember your face forever.
Me too.
So basically the dynamic with social media is that there's the personal name, there's the business name, and most of the people are posting their animals. It's not usually a picture of them. So I almost wish there was almost like a registry or we had name tags because it was a blur. It really was.
You were supposed to get a name tag when you were at Monitor Fest. Did you get one?
Well, yeah, I mean, we did, but it was just like, it was still a lot. It was, you know, I mean, there was like maybe 50 people there.
Yeah, it was a good one.
It's taxing. I mean, it's great to see everybody, but I know what you mean. By that last hour, you're like brain hurts, you're tired. Yeah. It's a lot of talking. It's a lot of social interaction between 50 people.
And then I had to kind of force myself sometimes because I can get on the shy side a little bit sometimes. But once you get me talking, I won't shut up. So.
It was a great day. You know what it is too, man? It's just a group of genuine people, right? We all have the love of these special reptiles, and you know it's like with all the BS going on within, and we're not going to touch on it because we don't get involved with it, but there's a lot of that drama, and man, you know, on the internet, people say all kinds of things, but when you meet face to face at Monitor Fest, man, all that garbage kind of goes away, and we're just talking people. You know, we're people to people. It's not, you know, I don't know, man. I'm old school, so I had to always watch my P's and Q's because you know, whenever we said something, it was face to face. Nowadays, you say stupid on the internet, and you think that's the end of it. However, people don't forget, and they're going to see you face to face one time. But Monitor Fest is never that way. It's always peaceful and fun, and man, it's just a great time. So,
and it's also context too.
Yeah,
like context of like typing something versus seeing people face to face. So that can, you know, what is it? The greatest distance between two people is misunderstanding. I think it is.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and that's the thing with the community is like, there's the community as a whole, and then there's like, I don't want to make it seem cliquey, but there's people that have done it and have a real passion, and there's those people, and there's never really a problem between those people. It's those outer people that seem to like step in and out that cause the problems because they know they're not going to be here long. They step in, cause a problem, step out. It always seems like those people, and I mean, at least in my career, I think I've been within the community and paying attention to people for like the last 12 years. Doing this, I've been doing it with my dad since I can remember. But within those 12 years, I can't tell you how many like orders have came in and then just disappeared. You never see them again. Right. It's like you got to keep that in mind. There's good people in this, and stick with the people that you get along with. Like the people I'm on impressed. Stick with those people and ignore the others.
And personally, like I'm not a starter, but when there's an issue, I do talk about it.
Yeah,
I do try to find my smaller group of people I can trust. But of course, you never know with that either, right? So,
you should be able to just talk about things. That seems like a thing that almost is of the past. That like we can have a conversation or a debate, not even to a debate level, but just talk about something back and forth. That seems to be something of the past. And you got to be careful. And social media definitely makes everything like a hostile environment instead of like this. We can discuss things and you could tell that like I'm not mad or upset. We're just discussing. And that's like social media lacks.
Like, for example, just within this show itself, you know, and again, everybody has their own opinion. I have opinions, and you know, I'm not saying I'm always right. I'm not saying I'm always wrong. You know, I can always learn. Obviously, if you ever think you know it all, you're done. Yeah. You're done. So when you had said about the dermestid beetles and the superworm beetles, like, you know, in my heart, that's like a big no-no. I didn't jump down your throat. I gave you the points, and either you will understand it.
I took notes. I did. That's why, you know, I like wrote it down and what I should get, you know. So
the thing is too is that it could be, some people could get away with it. It's not saying that like you're right or wrong. It's just it wouldn't work for me, but it might work for you. Like that might, like, obviously you've been doing great with it. You're breeding Kordensis. You've had many clutches. You're killing it with a pair, which I thought like you had an army of Kordensis over there with what you're doing, but you only had a pair. So obviously you're doing it right. So it works for you.
Corbin's nickname is Genghis Khan. Because seriously, there's not a whole, like, I mean, there's a lot out there, but like not like, I just feel like Kordensis are a little bit more selectively in the mix. Yeah, it could be I just don't know about all the people out there too, but he is just killing it, and
they're beautiful. I love the Kordensis.
And then I was talking to Mike about like selling the pairs and the mating, and we were talking about how it needs to go a while, but I'm like, well, he's just pumping out so many. I'm like, you know, I still worry about that, you know. So
I don't think in the near future you'd have any problems, but who am I? That's just my guess, my opinion off of things. I mean, there's people on F2s, F3s that have done it and haven't had any problems. Oh wow! Not with Kordensis, just with monitors. I'm saying
right. And another thing with like overproducing. So I tell anybody who's trying to get into this as a breeder, you know, that right away they're thinking, you know, babies and money. I'm like, dude, you got to get your nesting right. You got to get your feeding right. You got to get your incubation right. Then you got to get housing your babies right. And then from there, that's where the conversation seems to always end. But I always try to snap people into reality and say, okay, well, what are you going to do when you got 8 hatchling coming eye and 3 clutches in the incubator, and these animals aren't selling, but they're growing. So you got to be prepared for, I always try to tell people, at least up until their middle cage. So you got your mice monitor socialization caging system, which is like for hatchlings. And then like your next phase would be a medium size enclosure. You got to at least be ready and have those enclosures spared out, ready to go for when these animals do outgrow your initial setup. And, and then generally by the time they're, as long as your forearm, you're going to sell them. However, with tree monitors, it's a little different because, the size of your forearm is getting into, adult size. So it's a little easier with tree monitors and dwarf monitors, things like that. But for people with, bigger, medium to big, like peach throats, Mertens, and quince, and so on, yeah, you need to be prepared for, animals growing up in your care before you sell them, and that's part of the problem when people start lowballing themselves. It's like, you should be prepared for that. That way, you don't have to race to the bottom of the pricing.
Yep. Yeah, you can't just throw them in rack systems, and the geckos, you can't just throw them in these little cute little plexi. Like I have right back here, I have 2 hatchling enclosures just in case, but I still lose sleep and I still get stressed because I'm like, okay. And I'm lucky that, because we interact with them so much, they're still cuddling and things like that. But like if you're looking at bearded dragons, you can keep them because they are going to start going after each other pretty quickly,
It happens, it happens with the water monitors too. I'll keep them together a little too long, and you notice there's a size difference because there's a hierarchy going on, and that's when you got to start separating.
And then like with water monitors, especially water monitors or indicus types, when you get 2 females that are, okay, we'll just say coming eye, for example, togies, whatever. When they're coming into the year point of age, now we always say on the show that female monitors take life very serious. They take their basking spot serious. They take their food serious, water, nesting. All that is very serious for them because that's how they're continuing on their species, where males kind of just do around, they eat and poop, and they look for something to breed, right? So when your medium-sized monitors, whatever, Molinas, not Mertens. Mertens are different, man. Mertens are very, very communal. So coming eye, togies, when the females start approaching a year of age, they don't want to share territory. So now, say you got 3 males, and we'll just say, we'll keep it simple, and 3 females. Well, you're going to need a proper cage each for those females. The males might get along for, most of the time, but females, once they hit about a year old or the length of your forearm, they don't want to have nothing to do with each other because they're serious about their basking spot. Like I said, they're resources. So they do a lot of resource guarding. So you got to be prepared for that.
Yeah, and I'm also like being very proactive too. So when I get up before I go to work, I'm actually offering drinks. Like I have one of those cute little small handheld sprayers that's a nice gentle stream, and I'm giving everybody drinks to make sure if somebody does poop in the water halfway through my shift, that they're at least hydrated. They don't have to drink that. They can find, areas from my mister that is misting during the day and get some water from that. And then like, even when they're babies and they're able to be handled like, 2 weeks, month, if they're basking, I have two basking lights in my hatchling enclosures. I'm actually putting them, if they're stacked one on top of the other, I'm training them to go side by side under the lights.
Wow.
There was recently, maybe a month ago, one of the guys actually had a clutch mate eat another clutch, or like basically fully swallow the clutch mate because it was smaller. And what I do is, if I'm noticing that size differential, I'm like feeding them in the morning and seeing if they want food. I'm separating them and pulling them out if they want to eat on me, if they want to eat in another neutral area where the other ones aren't there, if they're like anxious and nervous because they're around.
Yeah.
And I nurture them a lot more than if I'm, the other ones that are doing fine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So everybody has that equal chance.
I want to say, Janice, anybody that gets a baby from you seems very lucky. I could tell that you put the time in, and they're lucky to have one from you. But second, with the whole baby eating thing, that's definitely I don't know who it was, and this isn't at them, but that's more the breeder because if they could fit the baby in their mouth, there's a pretty significant size difference.
And you know, it's not even a bad thing about the breeder. It's just like, you know, I have a pair, and then you know, a clutch maybe 2 at a time that I'm watching. You know, so
those
you know,
been separated long ago if they were that far apart in size.
And it's like even the bigger tree monitor breeders, they're doing great things, but they can't necessarily get them out as much as I do and get them to experience in my like supervised roam area, you know, to like.
You know, Janice, exactly what you're saying is what we always say. And this is a perfect example of it. So we always say less is more. So what we mean by that is when, you know, I see these people run out, they get all charged up. They're coming into this. They get a few clutches here and there. And then before you know it, they got 16 adult water monitors or whatever. It's like, man, you know, I don't have nearly that much. And you got to be in tune with your stuff. So when you have less is more. So when you have more, you're actually doing less because you're losing a lot of stuff. You're not seeing this stuff. So less is more, just like what you're saying. And again, when you have less, you could put more into the babies. You have more time to socialize them. And it's just, it's pretty simple. But yeah, that's a motto I'll die on that hill. Less is more, you know?
Right. And I'm sure a lot of people that stay in tune with what you're doing, like, man, they hold you with the highest regard, and that's going to show, and it's going to transfer to other people. And like this lady puts in the time with these babies. Like, you got to see how tame this is. I mean, you had it under your hood before, and I had no idea.
He's right back here right now. That's awesome. He's somewhere back in my hair.
That's why I said what I said. People are lucky to get babies from you. They don't understand how lucky.
And like, it is really cool. Like, I've actually sold an animal to somebody, and they actually are just, they recently collaborated on Instagram. So you can see it. They have like Jurassic Park music in the back, but I was actually helping them with one of their black trees. It wasn't really socialized, and they had it for probably like 4 months, and it was still like just skittish as anything. And I'm like, okay, we'll try this. And it's because like I had Corbin, and he is like skittish, so skittish from like us having to administer medication.
Yeah.
And being wide cautious in general, and going probably through so many hands, you know,
that's why socialization is very important. And it's very important to people for different reasons. Like I don't care about, you know, bringing my animals to the park and to the Walmart or what, like I see a lot of people doing. I want my animals to be tolerant of being handled, being put in a bag, being put in a kennel, going to a vet, you know, so that's more for their well-being than for me having a lizard, right? You understand what I'm saying?
Yep. And that's me with the spinnies. Like, it took me 4 years to get to, or what is it, 3 years to get to this point, and I never moved that female from that enclosure for that reason. And I think if I did bounce her around like I do with some other species, I don't think I would have ever gotten to the breeding point, because she is so skittish, wants to know everything that's going on. And if I kept changing her life around, I don't think she ever would have been comfortable enough to breed and lay eggs.
Right.
So that's like why being social affects what I do. But everybody has different reasons for why.
Yeah. And for the most part too, I always look at socialization like this. So like if you have a scared, insecure monitor, okay, you imagine going through life like that. Oh my God, I heard the piano, or I heard the clock ding.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want my animals to be like that. Right. I want them to be bold and confident. And when they hear a dog barking upstairs, they don't, you know, fly off the handle. When they see me coming in a room, you know, it's more for their psychological well-being, because as we always say, these are highly intelligent animals.
Yeah.
And, you know, and that's what it's all about, really, the comfort of your animal. So,
and I think it's, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you go, Janice. You're the guest. Go ahead.
No. I was just going to say that I think, you know, I would have never I just feel like I had the best possible situation that I could have. Lila was very social when I got her. Corbin was on the very opposite end of the spectrum. If I would have gotten him, I would have never known how social they could have gotten and how I could have raised them. And I think, like you said, Mike, that, because I have Corbin, the way he's just had such a hard time, that's why I want to like socialize these guys as much as I can. So they, like you said, they aren't scared to go to somebody that, they're like, I had sent a couple babies to somebody, and I said, well, make it like you're their savior, right? You pull them out of the bag, you handle them for a little bit, let them walk, and then you put them in the enclosure. So they're not like, oh my God, I'm in the enclosure now. And that's when they get, what is it? Enclosure aggressive, they don't want to be touched. So it's like, okay, it's kind of like what is it? Hammond from Jurassic Park. He wants to be there as soon as they're coming out of the shell. So you can, create those bonds from very beginning. Yeah. And I know it's silly, but that's really what you're trying to do. But anyway, I'd shipped them, and the animals kind of looked around like, what's this? And they're like, okay, well, this is just something different. Because like I'm taking them in my front window, I'm letting them look outside and seeing the birds, but obviously they're under protection, because they're behind the glass.
Yep.
But letting them crawl, they will. You can see my curtains back there. They'll like just chill in the curtains.
Yeah.
But I always make sure, because they are, they need their humidity. Like when I put little, Lover Boy back, I'll make sure that he's getting some drinks, that he's going to get misted down before I put him back in. So he's replenishing what he lost being out with me this long. So,
well, that's another thing why we really appreciate you coming on as a guest. It's like, people don't realize that, like the people who do bring their animals to Walmart, or, I've seen it all. In the time that I've been in this, I've seen boa constrictors out in Illinois in December. It's like, what are you, crazy? So there is a reason you have an enclosure for them, right? It's the perfect, what we hope is the best husbandry we can provide for them. However, in your 50% humidity living room that may be 72 degrees, right? Mm-hmm. That's not conducive for that animal long term. So like you said, you could bring them out. I don't have a problem with none of that. Prolonged periods of time, that's a problem.
Yep. But he has a 98.6 degree heat mat right now, so he's good to go, at least with that part.
With socialization, I forget who, it might even have been you, Uncle Mike. It's always I've always been told to leave on a good term. Like, don't push your boundary too far. When everything's going good, put the animal back and leave on that.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And a lot of people don't. They push it to the limit, and then it becomes bad. And then it becomes a bad thing every time they see you to take them out instead of a good thing, like you said.
Right.
And like I think I think my female knows when I pull in the driveway, because she's often right at the glass rating. Even Corbin is sometimes. He'll like be like, because I have like cork barks and rounds in their little area that they like their little space and go and hang out and enjoy their little part of freedom, if you will.
Yeah. I had a new policy that as soon as I entered the building, like they'd hear my foot on the step, they would turn and look like this. I could see it on the camera. They're too smart. More smart. We say it all the time, but we don't even give them enough credit.
No.
And like go ahead.
No, you go, Janice. I wasn't sure you were done. Go on.
No, it's just something, a different point. And this guy, it was a mess of a situation, and I should have vetted better. But he basically ruined the socialization that I had put like 5 months, 6 months in a matter of 2 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah, and I don't know if you've thought of this yet, Janice, but you got to also, like, I work on socializing my animals that I put out into the world. Me and my son do all the time. However, I'm when I sell an animal and they see it crawl up on my arm or my son's arm, I tell them, now it's up to you to continue this. You got to understand, when you bring them into your house, my house half the time smells like mozzarella cheese and spaghetti, right? Your house might smell like sauerkraut and whatever, Polish sausage. You know what I'm saying? So there's different noises, sounds, and smells that they're going to have to, it's going to be new to them. So that's going to be a little off-putting for them. So it's up to you to do it slow and short little training sessions to where you don't want to exhaust your animal. And, you know, the reward is to be left alone, right? You play a little bit, and then, you know, you got to kind of understand, you know, these aren't puppy dogs. They're not seeking our companionship. So when they're done, you let them go back to their quiet place, into their enclosure, and they appreciate that.
Yep. And just like us, sometimes we need our alone time, you know, so we're not going to be social all the time. We're not going to Monitor Fest every weekend. So
wait a minute. Human beings get alone time? I got 9 kids, man. I haven't had alone time in a long time. But now,
when's the last time you saw alone time?
I didn't know that, Mike. That is crazy.
Yeah. Well, why do you think I spend 45 minutes in the bathroom? Like, that's my alone time. But,
mine's in the garage. I hide
there.
There
you go. Or down in the dungeon with the animals. Yes, exactly. Absolutely. Yeah. So, Janice, we had talked a little bit before the show and whatnot. Do you? So here's Monitor Brain's attempt to put you out there, right? So, you sell your animals on Morph Market, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so we could find your animals for sale on Morph Market, and anything else? Any other?
I mean, I really just do Morph Market. I'm on, Instagram and Facebook. Obviously, Morph Market, you can only send like short clips of like video and stuff. So I encourage discussions between those two areas. But I always tell people to discuss like the money and shipping and everything through Morph Market. So there's that record.
Yes.
But yeah, that's pretty much where you can see me and my animals, and I'm pretty open to talking. And
I get this hunch that you really, I mean, that's part of being a good monitor breeder is I always back my animals, like for the life of the animal. If a guy's got one of my monitors and he's going on year 10, and he's got a question for me, I'll always pick up the phone.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And the crazy thing is, you when you've been doing this stuff long enough, you'll talk to people, right? And I have a set price, and you won't hear from the person, right? And then all of a sudden, a few months go by, and you get a correspondence that says, well, hey, I got this coming eye monitor, Uncle Mike, and, I don't, it's not doing this. And I'm like, well, you didn't get it from me. They're like, no, I got it from this person. I said, well, and I just do this to open their eyes to it a little bit. I'm like, well, what did the guy you bought it from say? And, they get a lot of whatever. I'm not going to say nothing about nothing, but I feel kind of like disrespected. Hey, if you'd have bought from me, I would never have gave you advice like that. I would give you, and then me and Nick talk about this all the time. It doesn't matter because we love the animals more than people. So we'll always help you out with your animals, even if you don't buy them from us. That's just how we are.
I mean, I don't have a lot of knowledge in a lot of the other animals, but like, especially with the socialization, I'm always, like I said, I need to make a video, and I'm so bad with this, but I want to kind of go over how, like, I worked with Corbin and all the different things that I've done. That's a common thing.
Phenomenal if you did that, step by step on how you work with human socialization, and have like the captioning and all the stuff, just a breakdown of what you're doing to work with him. You would do great. And I know life is hard and hard to get time and sit down, and it's a lot of work. I mean, even just to do those little caption things, it's a lot of work. But if you sat down and did it, it would definitely take off because people love that stuff.
Yeah,
I would be watching it.
And usually I just talk to people. It's just easier because you get those little tidbits of what they've tried, how their behavior is. So even though the video is great, sometimes you need to kind of do a step-by-step in a different direction or a reverse order to get their animals. And I think I've had 2 or 3 people that I've gotten their animals turned around. Wow. So I'm like, it's just the videos rewarding.
Such a broader scale. You hit everyone at once, which is why we started doing this. I mean, we were helping people behind the scenes, but like to come home to 20, 30 messages every day, we're like, you know what? let's get it out there and they could watch. And it definitely helped with my inbox.
Yeah.
But I'm sure I've helped people. We've helped people too.
Yeah.
And if you did videos, that's how people learn. I know I learned the best that way, with something visually in front of me.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. My partner, he's like, you shouldn't be helping them. You shouldn't be helping them. And I'm like, he's like, you just started charging $50 an hour. And I'm like, no, Jay, that's not the point.
You gotta tell your partner that, you know, you're not necessarily helping the person, you're helping an animal. You're helping
exactly.
Your passion, and in doing so, that gives you a good reputation. Oh, that guy's always willing to help. She's always willing to answer questions. So I think what you're doing, Janice, is great. And you have top quality animals. I mean, they are so beautiful. I seen one of your cordos at Tinley.
Yeah.
You remember that, Nick?
Yep.
Oh, with Cody.
I held him.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Nice.
Beautiful quality animal. So if anybody wants to get a hold of Janice, you could find her at Fifth Element Reptiles, Janice Horoschak. And
one thing
Instagram.
too, she does art as well. So I don't know if you wanted to plug your website. I can't wear the earrings because they don't really suit my style, but it's a cool thing. It's very cool.
I mean, earrings are the number one selling accessory. But I do ID badge holders, I do keychains, and I love doing custom stuff. Like,
I didn't know you did all that. I'll have to look at it. I only saw the earrings, and they were mostly women's earrings. That's why.
So I do I basically use my ink on paper paintings and I make wearable art out of it.
Very cool.
And right now, one of the things I was just talking through the guy last night, he actually is on the Baltimore Flamingos rugby team. He's gone to Australia in August, and I'm making him post earrings with a little flamingo inlay.
Nice.
And it's gonna basically be like their crest, their logo crest, for the team.
That's cool.
So
really cool. No, I love anything art related, so I wanted to make sure you got that in there.
And again, I mean, my grandmother was an artist. She was a painter and a sculptor. Okay. Nice. So I have an eye for aesthetics, and I always consider, my cage building and naturalistic enclosures very artistic. So while I don't do a lot of drawing and things like that, I do have an artistic side. Mm-hmm. So I do appreciate all that handmade art and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm at Abstract Janice on Instagram and a lot of the other places. So perfect. I don't have that has taken the back seat. However, this fall, I just don't know how I'm going to do it over the summer. Like I have to make some stuff, and I actually you would know that.
Unfortunately,
what is it?
There's only so much time in a day.
I know. And then I actually do Hershey Story Museum. I do their candy color brands. I do 5 of their candy color brands, like Twizzler, Jolly Rancher, Reese's Pieces cups, and I do the colors to the candy color brands. So they'll be probably hitting me up right before the fall too. So I'm just like, how am I going to make all this work? Plus I work the full-time job, so.
Yeah, that's the hard part is doing a full-time job, taking care of animals, trying to find other hobbies or other things you got going on. It's just, you can't.
I'm like thankful I don't have kids because.
And that's the whole other thing.
It's
crazy.
Idle time is the devil's workshop, so keep busy. That's all I can say.
It's true. It's true. And that's the problem with what we were talking about before with social media. It's idle time, sitting there thinking about what other people are doing and stuff like that instead of just doing what you want to do.
Yeah.
And it's really crazy. But man, when when you think about the world we live in, right? Like Facebook and Instagram and TikTok, you think that's innocent, man. It's not innocent. It's an addiction. People get addicted to that stuff. They can't turn it off. They waste a lot of time. They neglect family. They neglect their job because they're, stupid scrolling. And so, it's good to keep, if you use it in the right way, it's a good tool, but you can let it get the best of you. And that's a shame.
I think
and
social
it's
media
hard
is like
to
drinking. It's like you do it for a long amount of time. Once you get off, you feel like hungover. Like you feel like your brain isn't there. You're like kind of depressed in a way. It's definitely not good for you. And
or you're comparing yourself. That's like the worst of it.
Yeah.
I guess it's really hard for me because I belong to like a chat group. Well, 2 chat groups, one for my art, one for reptiles. I have a couple other ones for reptiles, but one, and it's like people are, interacting with your content. So you have to go interact with their content. We don't have to, but I feel obligated to do that if they're interacting with my content.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just it's hard to juggle that too.
Yeah.
And know what the right amount is, and making sure people don't feel like that you're neglecting them when they're, it's really hard. So
well, that's what I feel bad about personally all the time, because like you'll have friends that like your stuff, and I'm like, I'm not on social media to like theirs back, and I'm like, I feel bad. You know what I mean? Like I feel like I'm not putting up the same effort that they are.
Yeah, but you know what? If you don't put those limits on yourself, nobody will. It's just like I say to people who come on the show, hey man, if you don't put yourself out there, nobody's going to do it. So you got to, I don't like to use this. Well, I guess I do, because I use it all the time. You got to whore yourself out to push your animals, right?
Yeah.
But in the same regards, you got to realize when you're being whored yourself, like I say. So one time I'm watching a movie. This was probably about a year and a half ago. It was probably the winter, because winters suck here. And, I do a lot of Facebook scrolling and all that stuff. And we were watching a movie, and like, I didn't have my phone in my hand, and I was falling, I was nodding asleep watching a movie. And one of my kids goes, Dad, wake up. I'm like, what? He said, you're mystery scrolling. I guess my hand was like this, but my thumb was, that's terrible. That's when I said, I got to take a break. Yeah, I got to take a break. My thumb automatically going like this. I had to take a break.
Yeah.
So
when it started affecting me personally, and like I feeling like a certain way, I'm like, man, that's not me. Like I'm always been like the one to be by himself, separate himself from things. And then when I go on social media and like it like affected me, I'm like, I got to stop. And that's, I think we both started saying around the same time, Uncle Mike, like, this is enough. Yeah. Like, I don't need to be attached to this. Even though we like post and get off, that's what I do, is I post and get off.
Yeah. And also I was just thinking about circling back to one of the things you said about people thinking they're going to make the money. I actually had a guy that was looking to buy for me, and he was, oh yeah. And he actually even put through Morph Market, he was going to start making payments. And luckily he's actually buying another one of my animals just from somebody else. He had bought 2, the guy had bought 2. And I was like, well, why don't I give you the 2 that are cuddling together, that they, that way they're going to get along a while, and then you can keep them for, together for a while until they are too big to be in the same enclosure. And turned out they were both males. So he's like, oh yeah. He's like, I'm actually getting this monitor, one of your tree monitors. And then he like starts pumping me for information of like, oh, well, how do you have your nest set up, and how do you ship? And I was like, why don't you just like, I know Mike, you were just talking about that a while, on the show.
You gotta learn to walk before you run.
And really, where I started, I was told that the tree monitors hardly ever breed in captivity. That's what I was told. So I was really getting Lilu a partner just to hang out with and not be bored. And then they started breeding once he got better. And then I'm like, that's when I reached out to Cody. I'm like, Cody, what am I doing?
Yeah.
And, he kind of helped me fine tune all the different things. And, I made my incubator and, made the nest and, started paying attention. And now
that's people who say, oh my God, I got to grab a female, I got to go buy an incubator. It's like, dude, why don't you build your incubator and you'll learn how it works and the temperatures you're aiming for. And that one's too big, that one's too small. By you doing your own work, you learn so much doing your own work. Like I got somebody who wanted to give me like enclosures, like to, I guess, show off. And I'm like, well, number one, a 4x2x2 is like my hatchling cage,
Right.
I build my own giant enclosures, and they're like, oh yeah, we can make them that big. I'm like, yeah, but how much to ship it? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, and you just learn so much about light placement and heat retention, and there's just so much you learn by actually just doing it yourself.
And it's half the fun of it. I mean,
it is.
I wouldn't want it if I walk into a facility with all my animals and the cages were built. I wouldn't want that. I like building them the way I build them.
Yeah,
the things that I need.
Yeah, I mean, technically, I do have animal plastic enclosures, but they're good, solid enclosures.
But you deck them out. The enclosure was pre-made. But
exactly. But then, and I don't know, this might be a good topic to bring up. I don't know if you've seen like some of the deformities because of people needing to turn down their air lately. I've seen 2 in the past week.
Wow.
So, is it incubator failure? Is it that? And it's like, when I was trying to place, because really all of my enclosures are in my living room and dining room. I'm sitting at my art desk when my enclosures are just like not even 6 feet away, 6 feet. And then in the dining room, the hatchling enclosures, my incubator is right up against, and I was worried about doing this, putting it right up against the AC vent. It like partially covers the AC vent, but I'm kind of like, maybe it's a good thing that it's there, because that's going to get the air the quickest and then the heat the quickest in the winter time. Yep. Where then they can the thermostat can adjust accordingly.
Yeah.
And sense. I was just like in shock of like how the inconsistency of like temps in the incubator can really do such detrimental damage.
That's your incubator, like for example, there's a lot of good incubators on the market. Chris Nettles with Sea Serpent, he makes great incubators. However, I've bred everything from snakes from frogs to everything.
You got our sponsor too, Uncle Mike, Johnny Sims.
Oh yeah, Sims Container. Now I don't really. That's a brand new product. I don't really know much about it, but what you got to understand about incubating monitor eggs, especially if you're talking like Mertens or water monitor eggs that go 7 months. Mertens go 8-9 months. Your temperatures have to be super consistent over those long months. So, like a colubrid incubator, they incubate 60, 90 days and they're done.
Right.
And I know a lot of people that after the breeding season they turn their incubator off. My incubator has been going for I don't know how long, for many years, and it's just because you can't fire it back up when you get a clutch of eggs and then fine tune it. Once you got your incubator going and it's in a good spot in your house where the temperatures don't fluctuate, that's key with breeding monitors because their eggs incubate for so long, Yep.
And then I was
go ahead, Jaren. Sorry.
Oh no, all I was going to say is like, because I have so many eggs and I'm scared to death of being cuddled with all these animals. I don't think I will be. I mean, can always, figure out, ways to do it. But it's just like I was going to try to turn the temps down so I could extend the duration of the eggs. But it sounds like that could potentially mess things up too.
Well, if you did it gradually, it's not a big deal. But once you get to the point you're desired, now you got to keep it that way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's crazy. I want to point something out about Janice here. So she had just said something to lower her incubating temperatures to make it stretch out a little longer. Man, the people I've met in this industry, whatever you want to call it, who they're like, 85 degrees, it takes 6 months. Well, I'm going to crank it up to 88 degrees and get it done in 4 months. It's like, I don't think so. And then they get the scissor mouse and the,
this thin when it comes out.
Yeah. Kink spines and just, it's like, no, there's a reason.
Issues like the motor skills are just off.
There's a reason things are the way they are.
Yep. And I want to touch on this. a recent mistake, and it's weird how things happen. It's not a mistake. It's a learning lesson, I guess.
Yep.
Like we always say. I moved my incubator this year. I had it in my whole place is at my parents', and my dad's office. He keeps it so low that my incubator doesn't. Obviously, it's a heat box, so it doesn't go down. So it's better in an air conditioned room. So his office was the coldest, and I hatched everything out of that office, and it would I keep mine set at like 84 and a half, 85, like Janice said, to keep it at longer durations. And I moved it into my reptile building because I just wanted everything together. He wanted it the hell out of his office. So I moved it, and then we had the spike for last week, and it went up to 90. And I have it on my phone that I could see the chart of the spikes, and it went straight up to 90 and consistent for almost 24 hours. Scared the hell out of me. I called Uncle Mike and talked to him about it. And I've had this happen in the past. Me and Uncle Mike have talked about it, and it went to 88. And I caught it within the 24 hours, moved the incubator back into the office, and it's back at the 84. So everything's fine. Everything was fine a couple years ago when it happened to me too. No kink tails, no crooked scissor faces, no wobbly backs. It was fine. So I think in like a short amount of time, I mean, it's nature. Nature's never flatlined a certain temperature, but that's the key is you got to catch it in time. Right. And I think the best investment I ever did were those Govee little thermostats that notify your phone. And keep that chart. So you even though that happened and I wasn't paying attention to my phone, I still was able to go back and see how long they were at that 90 degrees. And I mean, 4 degrees isn't a giant difference, but over a long amount of time, I would have lost those eggs if I didn't catch it. So, and
what I didn't say this because there was a post recently that I would suggest if that's happening, because most of it's that spike is happening around the power company cycling your home thermostat. Mm-hmm. But if you get one of the roller, I actually have one of because I had my air conditioning was out like a couple years ago, and I got one of the floor models that you just empty it, every so often with the condensation.
Yep. Yeah.
Putting one of those in the room to kind of balance that out if they're trying to do it, and then just override it with one of those AC units.
See, mine was, I usually open my windows when it's that hot. So then the circulation gets in, and it never reached that high before, but I left all my windows shut not knowing. So that ambient temperature was skyrocketed to 88. And then in that box was 90. So it was just so hot. We had 100-degree days here. I think it was 104 one day.
Yeah, it's been brutal.
Yeah, so that's what just pushed it over the edge, which I'll never do that again. My incubator's staying in the house.
Yeah.
But I was nervous because, I just got those spinny eggs, and I put years into that. And then to have that, I was sick. I was almost in tears. But
I'm sure
everything happened for a reason. It taught me a lesson, and we're here. It happens to all of us.
You also may want to check out, Nick. Their Vivosun also has a smart with probe.
Really? Okay.
That I've been using. I guess I have had them about a year, and I really like them. I haven't been messing really with the app on the phone because they have the big screen, and then because I can have on top of the enclosure, they're working pretty well. And then I also was it last spring? I saw so many people with respiratory and their animals had respiratory infections. I've full on changed over to an auto changeover thermostat because that's my main source of regulating my temps is my home thermostat. And then, that all of my enclosures are still in the same room. So it's accurate for me, but that was one of the things because our weather, and I'm sure in New Jersey, it's the same way, how it fluctuates. It could be 20 degrees at night, and then it's 80 degrees during the day, if not higher. So that makes me feel at ease. It'll actually even notify my phone and alert me via email when it goes below certain, goes above or below certain temperatures. That's so
awesome. That's what this was supposed to do, but
well, and those are really for a guideline, right? It's that's why I always encourage the surface temp checker and more frequent bursts of mist misting, less durations.
Yeah.
Just because then it's always in the air, it's out there. And if, your animal's sitting in the sunlight where you're not the sunlight, but the basking area, that's going to be the driest area. And if they love just basking all day, they're not going to get that,
and they need
humidity.
that. I learned that the hard way, that is super essential. The humidity in the enclosure, and the humidity they're actually breathing through the respiratory system. But that brought up another point that when you were talking about a vet, you're close to my favorite vet, Dr. Stall's down there.
Yeah.
Is that who you use?
I do, but I think maybe 2 years ago, he's not practicing anymore. He's actually just doing the admin work of the office.
Okay,
but there's still a lot of great doctors there. Like I usually go to Dr. Noah, but then the Dr. Nielsen's good. The one, I can't remember what the doctor's, is it Bignell? He actually was working with, he loves Alidabra. Is that Alidabra tortoises?
Yep.
And then, and obviously I'm sure he advises and, for all the different species anyway. So,
yeah. I got to say, that's like a magic trick when you pull him out. I forget he's there.
I know. It's okay, buddy. You're so good.
Yeah. He's awesome.
So Janice, we're going on almost an hour and a half now. So everybody knows where to get a hold of you to purchase animals. Obviously you're a nice person. I'm sure you're pleasant to deal with. So
most of the time you can push me and I'll it's okay, baby.
Yeah, a ton of great.
But I it's like if you're good to me, I'm going to be good to you. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
Yeah. Well, that's how it is in life.
Yeah.
But so everybody, we just wanted to say thank you, Janice, for coming on and showing us your beautiful animals and talking about your breeding setup. Anything in the future? Anything in the future for you? As far as breeding lizards, monitors.
I mean, I'm just kind of keeping it going. This is a lot. Like just one pair. I can only imagine like having one pair of each type of tree monitor. And a lot of people will have triple, sets of them. And not really. I'm sorry, guys. I wish I had something exciting to say.
Well, you know what? I mean nothing by this. Is just a term I always use. You have what blows wind up your skirt, right? So you're satisfied. And, I think that's very smart, thinking about less is more. Sure, you could probably get greens, blues, yellow. You could probably get them all and do it, but you're doing what you love right now. And your passion is obvious. Look at that little guy sitting there. So thank you so much for coming on, Janice. And I hope to see you at one of the shows and probably back at Monitor Fest in 2027.
Yeah, definitely. Have a good night, gentlemen.
Thank you so much, Janice.
I might have to come down to a Maryland show. It's been a long time.
You can always stop by and see the babies. You're more than welcome.
Definitely.
Have a great one,
Janice. Thank you, Janice.
Bye-bye.
What's going on, guys? Whether you're a first-time shipper or a veteran to the industry, Reptiles to You has you covered. Reptiles to You has everything you need to ship your reptiles and invertebrates safely. From top-notch supplies to an industry-leading live customer service team, Reptiles to You is a one-stop shop that we've used and trusted for years. They've got options on their website for single-purchase shipping kits or bulk options for all the best supplies to use if you're a breeder that ships out larger volumes at a time or just a box here and there. And of course, you can create your own shipping labels on their website at the lowest rates in company history. Part of providing the best for our animals is also ensuring that they travel safely to their new homes. And there's no team better than the people at Reptiles to You. So guys, if you're looking to partner with the best in the industry, it's an easy choice. I did it a long time ago and I never looked back. Follow the link in the description and join the Reptiles to You family today.
Ah, Nick, what a great interview.
It was awesome. Janice is great.
Yeah, she's a nice lady for sure. And it's such a good example of, I don't want to keep beating people over the head with it, but less is more. Like she has what she's, I mean, I'm sure you know how monitors are. You usually never stop with a pair, right?
Yep.
And maybe her line of thinking is she's going to do what she can with these cordos.
Yeah.
And maybe when she's done with cordos, she'll try something different in the tree monitor complex.
Yeah. And I don't want to speak for her or anything like that, because sometimes people are just there. I mean, I thought I was going to have just coming eye forever, but then knowing myself, what I'm saying with her is it's the bug. We all get the bug, and it only lasts for so long. And she might get black trees, fall in love. And I don't think she's going to be the one to snowball like I did, but I think she'll probably end up dabbling into some other ones in the future.
Well, it's also what the hell am I with the word I'm looking for? So it's admirable to know she's working with one thing that she likes and she's focused solely on that. Like, all these years I've been all over the place. I've had Mertens, I've had Audatria, I've had everything. You the same way. You got, whatever you get a
collection like 4 times this year, Uncle Mike. So
yeah. Well, and so like when I think about what I have right now is I have Tojis, the Sullas, and Similis. But you know what, Nick? Man, I'm so much. Now, it's not that I wasn't happy, but to know I go down there and I get my work done, feeding, waters, everything, and then I got all day to observe animals, to hone in this or just spend time with my family, and so kind of glad.
Less pressure. It's not that we don't do this as a career, either one of us, but when you take that pressure away and you have time with your family, because like that's a weird kind of, it's not like pressure like, oh, I need to do this, but it's like I need to spend time with this, and knowing that your family's upstairs or knowing your family's outside and you can't spend time with them, it's like this weight on your shoulders. So if you can spend time with the animals but take the weight out of it, it's definitely, and I'm still pretty heavy, Uncle Mike. I still have a decent amount of stuff, but it's way less than I did. And like you said, I'm picking up maybe not as much as Janice is, because she's focused on a pair and she's noticing everything that's going on. But I'm getting a lot of it. I'm getting the majority of it, way more than I was, and it's so much more enjoyable. And
well, and it's different too. Like, and I'm not saying nothing about nobody, but you got, like we say, less is more. So you got some people who get more and more and more, and that's what generally brings them down.
Yep.
Where I've managed a very large collection. You've managed, and you are managing a very large collection. However, there is something about taking a step back and just kind of working with a few passion projects. It kind of revives you. You know what I mean?
Definitely. And that's the thing, is like I got rid of stuff that I was not got rid of. It's a weird way. I don't like the way.
Yeah.
I moved on with things that I was doing for the wrong reasons. And now, like, I'm seeing, we've been talking about it, Uncle Mike, stuff coming in that, like, man, I've wanted that forever. And like getting super excited for what the future holds, but having empty enclosures now and just waiting. I'm patiently waiting for those things. And like Kai fan posted it, and he was like, man, I'm so happy I'm in my own lane. And not like, I'm not saying I'm in my own lane, like I have no competition, but I'm looking forward. I'm not looking in the rear view. I'm not looking in the side mirrors. I'm in my lane doing what I want to do. And there's something about that is just, I don't know. It's humbling, and it makes you love what you do more, I guess.
Yeah, that's pretty much. So, we're very passionate about keeping all Varanids. However, like the passion of my passion is these Tojis. I'm glad, I've done a lot with Mertens. I've done a lot with Coming Eye, the Sulfurs, and, I've done my fair share of Peach Throats and Audatria and blah, blah, blah. But, like, this is like, the Tojis for me is like, if that's all I had was my pair of Tojis, I'd be perfectly happy with it. You know what I mean? It's just something about them that like we talk all the time, Nick. You know, how come have you ever kept Ruticolis? I would love to keep Ruticolis, but I just never have. And then there's projects like lace monitors. It's just never been like a thing for me. You know, blue tails. I you know, way back early when, you know, when I was first starting with monitors, you know, you want everything. And then I had a little taste of blue tails, and I realized it's not my bag, you know. So you just kind of learn where you want to go. And what's that?
It's funny how you learn, like you keep it and like you want it so bad. That was doom rolls for me. I wanted them for years and I couldn't find one. And I got one and then I got 5 and I'm like, not for me. It was literally that fast, like a couple weeks, maybe at most. And I just moved on with them and nothing against doom rolls. I think they're cool, but it just would never blow wind up my skirt, as you said. It's just not
right. Yep.
And like as you do it longer, you refine and you find out what does. And like if I had to keep a lot of monitors now, but I could cut it down to like a very small amount, just how much I like them. I like all monitors, but I like some a lot more. So
yeah, exactly. It, like you say, it's just, you know, I don't know if it's the look, the behavior. It's a little bit of both with the Tojis for me. I love the way they look, obviously. Yep. And yes, their behaviors it's quite a unique monitor. You know, I want to be friends with them so bad. And when I start getting F2 captive borns, I will definitely work with them a lot more. However, when I was raising these captive borns, my whole focus was don't mess with them. I got to get them to breeder size. And then, like, now they're breeding. I got a female down there. They've been locked up this whole week. So when and if God blesses me with a F2 clutch of Tojis, those babies, because now I don't have, you know, I don't have Mertens and Coming Eye and Vivitatis. I don't have none of that stuff. So the extra time that I do have will be to socialize these Tojis, because that's really what I want to do now. Is I want to put more Tojis in the world, and I want them to be very, very social. So, you know,
you'll give Black Dragons a run for their money, Uncle Mike, because they are way prettier and way cooler and smaller.
Yeah, and they're smaller, and there's just, you know, again, you know, there's just something about the look of a Toji and their attitude.
That's
man,
right.
They just don't play, man. They're serious about everything. They don't play. Matter of fact,
and I know you'll do it with the socialization, Uncle Mike. I mean, when I first got Black Dragons, they were like that. The wild call female I got, good luck getting in that enclosure. And nest guarding, forget about it. So, and look at all the babies. They're all one generation tame. So a female from that female that is just like that Cordo that she had.
So I did notice this. I wanted to tell you this, Nick. So today, you know, I moved OJ into the big walk-in enclosure. And man, that's something else. Sharing time with such an animal as that it could be very scary and intense at times. He's very used to me. So I was working with my captive borns, and I said, "Hey, Ange, start on OJ's cage, right?" So I hear the door open up. I hear the hose drop on the floor, and he goes, "Dad, he don't like me." I'm like, "No, Ange." I go, "He likes you." He's like, "No, he don't like me." And I'm like, "Okay." So I went in there with him, and he was, you know, way more at ease. But it's crazy how, like, an animal like that, like he tolerates me, but he won't tolerate my son. It's kind of crazy. But that's what I really want to work hard on, socializing any more captive borns that I may have. But I wanted to say this to you. So we had that with OJ today, and OJ Jr. Oh, no, not OJ Jr., the Kraken. That's one of my captive born males. He's like, "Dad, I wish they would be like this guy." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" He goes, "Look, Dad, he's pong feeding it. It's sitting calmly in front of him." I'm like, "That's crazy, Ange, because he don't do that for me, right?" It's just weird how these personalities are crazy with these animals. So
there's a certain demeanor that they look for, and they can read it.
And Angelino is that's why I'm surprised with OJ.
I think OJ knows that you're not playing games, Uncle Mike. Just the way you go in there.
Right. That's what I think it is too. I think OJ knows, like, I'm a challenge.
Yeah.
And he knows he can intimidate Angelino, where the other one feels Angelino. He's very.
And he's looking for somebody compassionate. And
right.
He's not getting that from you.
Right. Exactly.
He's like, that guy doesn't care. He's just going to come in here.
It's a really weird.
Take his time.
Yeah, it's a really weird dynamic to see. Oh, and I wanted to bring up another thing. So I always compare the Toji's disposition to that of tricolors. Of course, there's exceptions to all things, like Similis. In my experience working with them for years and years, they don't take no crap. That's, you're talking about a lizard that maybe 18 inches long.
I've never worked with them, so that's so funny to hear.
They don't take no crap. I mean, they're not mean, but they don't take no crap. But I just did see a video, and it totally reminded me. So those the Varanus griseus, caspius, those Iranian desert monitors, that's another one, dude. They don't take no junk, man. They just don't take no junk.
I think the same with Argus, which is like a lot of people are very like social with Argus, but like everyone I've ever had is just like that picture. Where is it? Like wants to kill you. Like I've never had good luck with Argus.
Yeah, like so. I think of
so much of the Griseus, the Argus.
Yeah, I think of the Argus like, well, obviously, Mertensi is in that same complex, and man, there's just something about that complex. When there's food introduced, they just lose their minds. Yeah. They can go from a nice, calm disposition. You introduce food, and you can see their eyeballs start spinning, and they're just like, it's like, dude, the bird is right here. You don't got to go like this. You could just take the bird and go away. They're not calm like that.
I'd love to know why, besides the area they're from, why Argus and Mertens are in the same complex. I'd argue that one. Not just my little experience in I can never say that. Taxonomical stuff.
Yeah.
Why they're in the same complex like this.
Well, what they are is they're Varanus, okay? They're from the Varanus genus, okay? And like first time I found out about that, Janice told me. And I'm like, nah, I'm like you, same thing. I'm like, nah, these are like dry scrubland.
Yeah.
These are totally aquatic. But when I seen that behavior like that feed drive and their disposition, like, so a Mertens, even if they're social and you go in to get them, they're going to arch their neck. They're going to puff out their throat. They're going to do the tail whip and the body curls. Yeah. But once you grab them, they're like, okay, bluff is over, so, but yeah, I was in the same boat as you until I had them. And then I realized, it's obvious that they're definitely in the genus of Varanus.
That's like their behavior is like the only thing that links them, because the Argus is long, lanky. It's like the bulkiest monitor of all the monitors. Like looks like it's on steroids. It looks like it works out. And it's got that long neck. The patterning's totally off. The way they live is totally off. Like there's nothing besides their behavior.
I don't know, man. When I just sold my breeder, my F1 breeders, right? Mm-hmm. And that's another thing I got to say about Mertens. Man, their neck is so long. They have very long necks. Yeah.
It's true. I don't know. I love the Mertens, and that, like, no interest in the Argus, and for them to be so closely related blows my mind.
Right, and you know what? So, in that, like a different correlation, Argus again. Never was a thing for me. However, like pure Flavorufus, I mean they're in the same complex too. Yeah, pure Flavorufus,
Parentes too.
Yeah, exactly. I'd kill for that kind of stuff. You know what I mean?
just something about Argus. I don't know what it is, and it sounds so bad, but it's like I'd rather have Ackies before I had Argus, and nothing against Ackies either, but
yeah,
for me,
yeah, that's
something
tough.
turned me off. Something turned me off with them, and that's like bottom of the barrel for me. And I hate to even say this on this podcast because I love all monitors,
Right?
They're bottom.
Well, you know, it's I guess something better to say than like that. They just don't do it for you. They don't blow your skirt up. You know, I mean that's
like and it's not like bottom of the barrel. Like I think they're terrible. It's like my rankings. Like they would be the last one I'd pick.
Exactly. Like when you think about Audatria, you know, I love Similis because of their behaviors. Okay, and then you know you think about everybody goes, oh, Kimberly Rocks and Pilbaras. Dude, I would take Gilleneye and Kingorum over all of that stuff. I love those two species, man. They're great.
See, I can see that. The Gilleneye, they don't do it for me, Uncle Mike, but the Kingorum, definitely. And that's the thing is like Similis, because Similis is Audatria, right?
Yes.
They are, which is so weird to me because they should be their own thing too. Like they don't, besides size, they don't really behave or do anything like the rest of them. So I don't know.
Yeah,
the way I categorize things in my head, I guess.
Yeah, they're definitely like as far as Audatria goes, they're pretty ballsy. But then again, I've seen some Tristis that are, pretty ballsy. It just it all depends. But again, there's exceptions to all rules. And I just, there's something about when you open up the cage for the Similis, and they arch their back, and they arch their neck, and they blow that throat out.
Yep. I
could look at that shot all day long because I that's what I really love,
Yeah. Well, it's clear, Uncle Mike, that you like black and white, and that's everything we do is that. I love that black and white stuff.
Yeah.
I was looking at my collection the other day, and besides Coming Eye, Samaransis, like I have Black Lace, I have Black Dragons, I have what else have I got? There's a bunch of them now. I'm just looking around. I'm like, I have all black lizards.
Yeah.
That's just my thing. It always did.
And you know what's really weird about that?
I always wear black. I just love black and white stuff.
Well, yeah, and I'm sure you like Johnny Cash too then, right?
Yeah.
The Man in Black.
Black.
Here's one thing. Like, I bred the Bakari, and I love them. God, man, I'm feeding the mosquitoes big time out here. So, the Bakari, when you keep them in captivity, at least from my experience, and this was early on in my breeding career, they're black and they're like flat black and they're very ashy. You know what I mean? So it's not like the black of a Toji or a black of a black dragon that is really shiny and sleek and black, and that's
even a dirty black dragon is still blacker in my head than a black Bakari.
Right. Yeah, because they get that ashy skin, and I'm sure a lot of it has to do with humidity and the way we're keeping them.
Yeah.
But again, I can only go by captivity because I've never been in the wild or anything. So
it's just doing the work she is with the Cordos because I've always liked them. They've always been the top tier of the tree monitors for me. So they're so pretty. Their patterning is crazy.
Yeah.
Yep.
So let's see what else we got coming up here, Nick. Well,
summertime, not much going on. We have White Plains this weekend. I think the Pomona shows this weekend. What else? Who we have on next, Uncle Mike?
Andrew? We got on our good buddy Andrew Llewellyn, which I'm so happy to have him back on. You talk about he's never been to Monitor Fest, but if he was, I could see you, me, him, and Waterloo sitting at a table and just talking monitors like crazy, He
came Tinley once, caught me off guard. I came down the aisle. I never expected him to be there. And we did that. We sat in the aisle and we're talking. I was supposed to be vending, and I was talking to him in the aisle.
Yeah. And
we see each other pretty often. That shows out here. So
I wanted to say that. The summer Tinley had just passed, and I met that Daryl Goss
Yeah.
Seems like a really nice guy.
Yeah.
I didn't talk, long with him, but we had a nice conversation. Seems like a great guy. And yeah, it was nice. It was definitely no October show. I mean, you could actually breathe in the place. There was plenty of room. Different. I don't want to say, and I don't want to say, I'm going to say it, but I don't mean it in the way it sounds. A different caliber of vendor. So you didn't have all your typical ball python guys, all your typical, leopard gecko guys, your lychee geckos, your bearded dragon people. It was like you still had those people, but it wasn't like the people you see at March and October. It was a whole different vendor group. Man, it was a great show. I had a real good time.
Yeah. I might have to go to the next one.
Yeah. Well, like I said, if you do, Nick, you could stay here. You don't got to buy a hotel. You can stay here with me.
I appreciate that, Uncle Mike.
Yeah.
And I'd love to. It's just that extra, what is it, an hour and a half back after driving, 12, 13 hours? It's
right
anymore to the trip.
Well, the thing that's nice about it is if you're vending, I get it. That hour and a half sucks. But if you're not vending, you let the crowd build in the morning on Saturday, right?
Yep.
By the time we get there, say 10, 11 o'clock, the people are already going in. You know what I'm saying? So
the reason why I even went to the last one, Uncle Mike, really was to just hang out with you. It's like I'm getting to the point where, like, and nothing against Tinley, but I've seen it, I've done it. I want to like travel and see other things. Like I'm going to hit Daytona this year. We're just fully booked now. And then I want to hit Texas. And then I think I'm going to venture out and do like ham and stuff like that. I want to see different stuff. I have the interest of vending, and nothing against people that do. I totally get it. And I'll probably do my local shows because, I mean, I waste half the day and go vend locally. But like no interest in vending shows anymore. It doesn't make sense. I don't need to. And I just really don't want to.
I like going and enjoying the people, but being tied to a table and all the money and the hotel, guys like us, we got to get because when I'm not leaving my stuff there overnight, right? So,
and all the stress you put through the animals, it's just go through so much, and most of the time, like I sell stuff at shows, but I'm better off leaving them home. I sell at home better, and I bring them all the way out there. They got to be for 5 days lugged around. I care about them too much to do that.
And 5 days to be lugged around, then then you get home, you're exhausted. Now you got to put everything away. You can't just leave it in a box overnight, right?
No,
you got to put everything away when you get home. It's a lot of work. I don't know how some of the people do that. Like every show, they're here, they're there. It's like so much work. I guess I'm getting lazy. We're talking about Tinley. I was there. I met John Pop, who's kingsnake.com now. He's the new owner. And, he sat with me at the auction and we had a good conversation. He's a real nice guy. I met his son. So big shout out to kingsnake.com, one of our sponsors. Who you got, Nick?
So we have Klein's Feeders. Shout out to him. I haven't talked to him in the last couple of weeks, but he had a big fire. So if you guys could help him out in any way, shape, or form, please do. He's a great guy. The family's great. And best quality out there, in my opinion.
I just got an order from him. I called him. Oh, geez. So I don't know. Don't quote me on this. I think it was Saturday or Sunday. Called him, told him I needed a load. And it just got here yesterday. So, the guy's on the spot. He don't mess around. You tell him what you want, and it shows up at your house when he says it's going to show up. So, look out for Klein's Feeders. Beautiful stuff. Clean. Can't beat them.
Great businessman. Kind of guy you want to work with. And
then another one of our sponsors at Tinley, Mickey Meyer, was there. I had known Mickey a while. Nice guy, man. I sat and talked to him. He bid on the Mertens that I put in the auction. He didn't win it, but
for sure.
So
I commend guy that's
Mickey Meyer at Show Me what is it? Show Me Snakes or Show Me Show?
Yeah, Show Me Show and Show Me Snakes, both.
Right.
And we got Johnny Sims, who we had on last week.
Yep. Johnny Sims. If you don't know that little greasy guy, you should. He's got a great product. He's got a great product. He's a great guy.
He pizza out of my pocket, apparently.
Yeah. Oh, that was great. I was like, man, if we could only actually do that, just go and have a slice of pizza in your hand, how great would that be?
I was gonna change it, but I'm like, it's kind of funny, so I just
that was beautiful.
Yeah.
So we got reptiles to you. How could we forget our shipping guys?
How could we forget them? Ben and Mason.
And Mason, yeah. Mason's he's become part of the family too, right, Nick?
For sure. I talk to Mason almost every day now about something.
Yeah. He's a great young man, and
we give a little background on Ben. It was cool because I've known Debbie forever. I've used Debbie pretty much since I got into this. I had a mishap with another company, and I've heard nothing but shining stars about Debbie. So I've been very, very close with her for a long time. And we started this podcast. So I reached out to her. I said, who can you put me in connection with? And within 10 minutes, Ben was calling me. And I was like, I can't ask for better than that. And I mean, we talked for like an hour or two, and amazing, amazing guy. Great person to be running that company. Every day he's always sending me fire emojis anytime I post something, or he's just a very, very good friend, good guy. Can't say anything more about those people that work at that company.
Yep.
Besides that, I miss Debbie. Love you, Debbie.
Yeah. She was, well, I mean, it's not like she's gone, but she's not in the forefront of the shipping thing anymore.
And anytime I reach out, she still puts me in connections with people. And the people there now are great. Jess, I deal with Jess.
Yeah.
I'm great people, but
I love Jess. She's great.
That miss her a little bit, but Jess is awesome. Ben's awesome. Mason's awesome. You guys are the best in the game for sure.
Absolutely. And it's not just obviously they gotta work their product right, and they're great people on top of it. I know a lot of people run their stuff right, but and I'm not talking about shipping people, obviously, but
I'm not saying they're or anything like that. But man, I would rather deal with a better person than a cheaper price any day. And they probably are competitive with the cheaper price, but they're just all around. All those people we just mentioned are out of the game. All amazing people, and that's why they're sponsors.
And then one thing I'd like to kind of pump myself up a little bit, I guess. So Citadel Calubra, it's an online herpetology course, university type thing. Oh, that's good. I did. What did I do? I did. 2, 4, 6. No, I did about 9 hours worth of phone calls with Brax Warner, and he took down all my information, and I guess he's going to turn it into a monitor lizard breeding course, and we got some other things in the work too, but that should be coming out really soon. So look out for that. You could join the Citadel Calubra, the university, and have access to all of this stuff. Yeah. Or you could just buy my ebook, or Tom Crutchfield's ebook, or Steve Angeli's ebook, or George Van Horn's, his thing. Ty Park got one. So it's going to be a beautiful thing as far as information goes. And I
can't wait. That's going to be really cool. I'm actually really excited for that.
And don't worry, Nicky Nick, your time's coming, bro.
Yeah. I'm more excited for you, Uncle Mike, and stuff.
Well, I appreciate that. But, you're my partner, so I always look out for you. Your time's coming, my man.
I know you do. And even when you don't even tell me that's how much. I just want to give everyone a little background, Uncle Mike. I don't say it enough, but I'll have people reach out to me, and I'll do a deal with them or talk about genetics with them, and then tell Uncle Mike, he's like, oh yeah, I sent him your way. You don't look for anything from me. You don't even tell me. And then I'm just doing a deal with somebody or doing some kind of business related thing with them. And it's because of you. And you've done that countless hundreds of thousands of times for me throughout our friendship. And I can't thank you enough.
Well, again, Nick, that goes back to the first time we met. I just knew
know, hands down. And I'm not just saying that; it's the dead honest truth.
What was I missed that, but you don't have to repeat it.
I said you're one of the best people I know, Uncle Mike.
Oh,
Yeah, hands
thanks,
down.
Nick.
I'm not just saying that it's the truth. You have nothing selfish in your. I've known this before I knew you because I used to watch you at the auctions. I used to watch you at the shows, always donating stuff, and you're always looking out for the best of the community, best for the animals, and for anybody to think anything otherwise is absolutely insane.
Yeah, well, you know, that goes back to the first time I met you, Nick. I watched you on the internet a little bit, and then I met you at Tinley. I met it at Tinley, and I was like, man, I told Karen, I go, this guy's afraid to come up to me. I'm like, that's fucking crazy. I'm like, that. I think I'm the nicest guy, right? So I was like, hey, Nicky Nick, you know, and then we hit it off, man. And I knew you were a good kid from the jump. So yeah, I got your back, man. You know that.
I appreciate it. And I remember that first time because I actually remember the exact moment you were behind a table and you were doing an interview with someone. And I walked past the table. I was like, hey, Uncle Mike. And you're like, 1 minute, Nick. And then I felt weird just standing there, like watching you do your interview. So I walked away. And that's when you called me outside.
Yeah.
And we talked. But
yep.
Yeah, I was definitely nervous, without a doubt.
I don't know why, but whatever. Well, look at us now, right, Nick?
I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. Somebody... And that's the weird part. And I deal with it a little bit now. And I know you understand it. But it's like people look up to someone like you for so long through social media to be in front of them. You almost forget what to say. It's like you feel like you've known them for so long, but they don't know who you are.
Yeah. And then once you break that ice and you realize, wow, you know what? We're just people, right? We're just in the same thing.
You said Nicky Nick, like you knew me forever, which was in my head. I felt like I knew you forever because I've been watching you for so long. So
yeah,
you broke it right away, and I appreciate it, Uncle Mike.
Yeah, no problem, Nicky Nick, man. You're a good man, and I appreciate you. I love watching your family grow. And man, it's great to be your partner on this Monitor Brains podcast. So, and you know, I could stay on the phone with you forever, and we usually are. But I'm feeding these mosquitoes out here, man. I got to get in the house.
I see you batting away over there.
Yeah, they're getting bad now that the sun's down.
Yeah.
But all right, so Mike Stefani, Mike's Monitors.
Nicky Nick, Unlimited Exotics. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys. See you on the next one.
See you on the next one, guys.
Bye now.